Hey everyone, welcome back to Practical English Podcast. I'm Aries.
And I'm Levent. Today's episode will make you hungry and fluent at the same time.
We're talking about cooking vocabulary, but not by listing words. We'll learn through a fun kitchen story between two friends, Ada and Noah.
Ada speaks fluent English, but Noah always gets stuck because he doesn't know the right cooking words. Sounds familiar? Don't worry. By the end of this episode, you'll sound confident in any kitchen.
So let's step into the kitchen with Ada and Noah and discover how easy learning English can be when it's mixed with a little fun. Noah, are you ready to cook today?
Yeah, I think so. But I'm not sure I know all the, kitchen English words.
Don't worry, we'll cook and learn together. So, what's first on our menu?
Let's make pasta. I already, cut the tomatoes.
You mean you chopped the tomatoes. Cut is general, but in cooking we say chop, dice, or slice.
Ah, right. Chop. Okay, I chopped the tomatoes. Should I fire the gas now?
We say turn on the stove, not fire the gas.
Got it. So I'll turn on the stove and boil the pasta, right?
Exactly. Put some water in the pot and a pinch of salt and wait till it boils.
What's a pinch?
It means a very small amount, like when you pick salt between your fingers.
Okay, and now I'll fry the onions?
Yes. Heat some oil in a pan and saute the onions until they're golden brown.
Wait, saute? That's a new one.
It means to cook quickly in a little bit of oil while stirring. It's common in English cooking shows.
Oh, like when chefs keep moving the pan like this?
Exactly. You're a natural. Now, add the chopped tomatoes, stir well, and let it simmer for a few minutes.
Simmer. That means cook slowly, right?
Yes, at low heat. You're learning fast.
This is fun. Okay, now I'll drain the pasta. How do I say it? The water thing.
Perfect. Drain the pasta is correct. You pour out the water using a strainer.
Nice. Then I'll mix it with the sauce and garnish with some cheese.
Wow, listen to you. Garnish, that's an advanced word. It means to decorate food before serving.
Ada, I think I'm finally cooking and speaking English at the same time.
See, once you know the right words, English becomes delicious. Wait, Noah, don't forget to taste the sauce.
Oh, right. It's a bit bland.
Good word. Bland means lacking flavor. Add a dash of pepper and a spoonful of chili flakes.
A dash is like a pinch, right?
Almost. Pinch is for dry ingredients like salt. Dash is for liquids or sauces. A small, quick pour.
Got it. Now it smells so good. What's next?
Let's grate some cheese.
Oh, that's when you rub it on a grater to make thin pieces.
Exactly. Then we'll toss the pasta. Gently mix everything together.
I love that word. Toss. Sounds like something you do at a fancy restaurant.
You could say that. Now turn off the stove, plate the pasta, and garnish with herbs.
Plate the pasta?
Yes! To plate means to arrange food nicely on a plate. Chefs use that term all the time.
Wow. English has so many words just for cooking.
That's the beauty of it. The more words you know, the more precisely you can express taste, smell, and action.
Agreed. Now let's enjoy our pasta and our new English skills.
Okay, that was so much fun. Let's unpack all those useful cooking words from Ada and Noah's kitchen.
Absolutely. Here's your cooking vocabulary buffet, from basic to advanced.
All right, first, Mia said chop the onions and dice the carrots. Now, both mean to cut, but there's a difference. Chop means to cut roughly into small pieces, while dice means to cut into tiny cubes. Example, chop the onions, then dice the carrots.
And if you're cutting thin pieces, like bread or tomato, that's sliced on. Slice the bread evenly. Next, Noah mentioned turning on the gas. But in natural English, we don't say fire the gas. We say turn on the stove. Turn on the stove and heat the pan.
Exactly. That one small change instantly makes her English sound more natural. Then Ada said, boil the pasta. Boil means when water gets really hot and bubbles up. Boil the pasta for 10 minutes.
And after boiling, what did Noah do? He drained it. That means removing the water. Drain the pasta using a strainer. For example, he also used the word sauté. Fancy, right?
Yeah, it sounds fancy, but it's super common. It's a French word that means to cook something quickly in a little oil while stirring. For example, saute the onions until golden. Then she said she'd let the sauce simmer. That means cooking slowly on low heat, just gentle bubbles, not boiling. Let the sauce simmer for 10 minutes.
Perfect for making pasta sauce sound and taste delicious. Oh, and don't forget a pinch of salt.
Yes! That means a tiny amount, just what you can pick up with your fingers. For example, add a pinch of salt and pepper.
And if you pour just a small amount of a liquid, like lemon juice or soy sauce, that's a dash. Add a dash of vinegar.
I also loved how Ada said she would garnish the pasta. That means to decorate the food before serving. Garnish with parsley or cheese.
And before that, she tossed the pasta in the sauce. Means to mix it lightly, often by flipping or shaking. For example, toss the pasta in the sauce.
Finally, the word plate. To plate means to arrange the food nicely before serving it. Plate the dish carefully for presentation.
And if she said the soup tasted bland, that means it didn't have much flavored. This soup is a little bland, add more spices.
So there you go. All those great words came straight from Ada and Noah's simple kitchen talk.
Exactly. The best way to learn vocabulary is to hear it in action. Don't just memorize. Listen, repeat, and use it naturally.
So next time you're cooking or eating, try to describe what you're doing in English. And if you've ever felt nervous like Noah, remember, it's not about perfect grammar. It's about knowing the right words for real situations.
Absolutely. When you learn vocabulary in context, you stop translating in your head. You just speak naturally.
Keep practicing with us, and soon, English will feel as natural as cooking your favorite meal.
Exactly. The best way to learn vocabulary is to hear it in action. Don't just memorize. Listen, repeat, and use it naturally.
Thanks for tuning in to Practical English Podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below with your favorite new word from today's episode. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more practical English tips. And stay in touch. Keep practicing every day. And remember, confidence grows with every word. See you next time.